Have you ever felt like you're just moving through life doing things, but not really living? You wake up, scroll through your phone, go to work or school, talk to people, smile when needed. But deep inside, something feels missing. You can't explain it, but it's like a quiet emptiness that follows you everywhere. Maybe once you had dreams. Maybe you wanted to build, create, and explore to do something that truly mattered. But somewhere along the way, you forgot why you started. Don't worry, you're not broken. Your life's purpose isn't lost, it's still inside you, waiting patiently to be remembered, and today, you're going to find it again. Life has a strange way of covering our dreams with layers of noise. At first, we wake up excited, ready to chase the things we love, but slowly, the world teaches us to be practical. We start worrying more about bills, grades, opinions, and expectations than the fire inside our heart. That's when the fog begins to form quietly. Almost unnoticeably, one day turns into another. The dream that once felt clear now feels far away. You tell yourself, maybe it wasn't meant for me, but deep down your heart whispers, it was. Everyone goes through this, students, workers, parents, artists, all of us forget sometimes. Not because we're weak, but because life gets loud, and in all that noise, the gentle voice of our true purpose gets harder to hear. Imagine a traveler walking through a thick forest. He started his journey full of energy, with a clear goal to reach the mountain on the other side. But after days of walking, he lost his way. The trees all looked the same. The paths twisted and disappeared. The traveler sat down, tired and afraid, thinking he had lost everything. As he rested, he placed his hand on his chest and felt something inside his pocket. Slowly, he pulled out a folded map. The same map he thought was gone. He laughed, half in disbelief, half in relief. The path was always with him. He just stopped checking it. We're all a bit like that traveler. Our map, our purpose never truly leaves us. It's just buried under doubt, fear, and routine. The moment we pause, breathe, and look within, we realize it was there all along. Your purpose isn't hiding in some distant future. It's been quietly waiting inside you like that forgotten map ready to guide you home. We don't forget our purpose overnight. It happens slowly, one small distraction at a time. We start comparing ourselves to others. We scroll through social media and see people who look more successful, more confident, and more together. We begin to believe that our own path isn't good enough, so we stop walking on it. Then comes fear of failure, of judgment, of not being perfect. That fear makes us hesitate. We tell ourselves, maybe I should wait. Maybe I'm not ready yet. And while we wait, time quietly slips away. Sometimes we forget because we get too busy surviving. We do what we must: work, study, take care of responsibilities, but we stop asking what makes us feel alive. And when we stop asking, we stop hearing. Our inner voice doesn't disappear, it just becomes a whisper beneath all the noise. You see, forgetting your purpose isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you've been human, trying, adjusting, and surviving. But now, it's time to remember who you were before the world told you to be someone else. The moment you stop running from the noise and sit in silence, something magical begins to happen. At first, the silence feels strange, even uncomfortable. You start hearing your own thoughts again, the ones you've ignored for years. And somewhere in that quiet space, you'll notice a small spark memory, a feeling, forgotten dream that once made your heart race. That's where the search begins, not outside, but inside. You don't find your purpose in a book, a job, or someone's approval. You find it when you reconnect with the things that make you feel alive. Maybe it's the sound of music you once loved to play. Maybe it's the words you used to write when no one was watching. Maybe it's helping someone smile again. Small actions, simple steps, that's how purpose returns. When you do something that feels true, your heart starts to guide you again. You begin to see small signs: peace in your mind, warmth in your chest, lightness in your steps. That's not coincidence. That's your inner compass turning back on. That's your soul saying, you're coming home. Once you start listening to that quiet voice within, life slowly begins to change. The fog that once surrounded you starts to lift, and the path that felt dark begins to show small lights along the way. The traveler in our story finally stood up, opened his map, and looked at the sunrise. He realized that he didn't need to see the whole readjust, the next step was enough. So he took one step, then another. With each step, his fear became smaller, and his confidence grew stronger. That's what rediscovering purpose feels like, gentle but powerful. You don't need to know where the entire journey. You just need to follow what feels right. When you do things that fill you with peace instead of pressure, that's direction. When you feel excitement instead of doubt, that's alignment. And when your heart whispers, "This is who I am," that's your purpose returning. Clarity doesn't come like a thunderstorm. It arrives like sunrises, low, warm, and certain. And when it does, everything begins to make sense again. You realize that nothing was ever truly lost. You just had to remember where to look. Purpose isn't something we go out and find like a treasure buried in the ground. It's something we remember, truth we've always carried inside. Life's distractions, fears, and failures only make us forget for a while. But forgetting doesn't erase who we are. It only hides it under layers of noise. Your purpose doesn't need to be big or loud. It doesn't have to impress anyone. It just has to feel real, something that gives meaning to your days and peace to your nights. When you start living with honesty, love, and curiosity, your purpose naturally returns. You begin to understand that every experience, even the painful ones, was leading you back to yourself. You were never off the path. You were simply learning how to walk it with your eyes open. Take a deep breath. You don't need to rush, chase, or prove anything. Your life's purpose isn't hiding somewhere far away. It's right here, quietly waiting for you to notice it again. Listen closely. It speaks in the things that make you smile, the dreams that still visit you at night, and the peace you feel when you're doing what you love. Your purpose isn't lost. It's whispering your name softly, patiently, and now you remember this is who you were always meant to be.